Here we have Mikayla's breaststroke. See her diving in. I'd like to see her actually work on trying to launch herself out a little bit further. Really think about pushing off and pushing back with that front leg. The front leg is really what then gets you shooting out a lot further and get you out there a lot better. As we go through the pole, since you enter and then you're having to get into that pole a lot sooner, you're not covering as much distance as what you possibly could. See, you've got a really pretty good lunge as you're shooting forward for that breaststroke. I'd like to see a little bit different timing with your stroke. You are kicking a little bit earlier than what I'd like to see on a lower style breaststroke. As we see you coming into the wall, you are turning your head, and so you're coming and then kind of looping over to your left hand side. What we really want to do is make sure as you're touching that wall, you're going to drive your knees directly underneath the body, and so you're going to basically do a reverse flip. What you want to make sure that you're doing with your head is dropping that head and almost throwing it straight back behind you, so that way you're going to be able to help with that body positioning doing that reverse flip. Now, as you get closer to planting those feet on the wall, since you pulled your left arm off the wall first, you're going to want to make sure that you really put more pressure onto that left shoulder so you can rotate your shoulders so that they're almost perpendicular to the bottom of the pool. That way you're going to be able to push off on your side, and by doing this you're going to be able to really create a much faster turn. You do a pretty good job there going through the knee drive, but we just kind of work on that head positioning as you go through. I definitely think with the fact that your kick is almost overlapping a little bit too much with your arms, if we can get you to kick a lot later in that stroke, that's going to help with a lot more power shooting you forward. As we see you going for the finish, very good positioning. Just always make sure you are trying to judge that turn out past the flag so that you do end up finishing as you did right here. One thing to note is if we do change your pole at any point in time, or your coach does, you want to realize that that will change the timing with your kick. So as you change one thing, you will possibly have to change something else. Nice job. Here is Mikayla's breaststroke. We're running two streams because of one stopping partway through. As we see, she's got a pretty drastic angle right through there. We want to make sure that we are just a little bit on the up motion versus being so down. We do need to wait just a little bit longer before that pull because you are having to glide a lot longer before you get into that next pull right there at the surface. So make sure you can kind of wait off a little bit before that pull. The other thing is, as we watch you go through, you are lifting that head up quite a bit and then putting it back down. We want to make sure that you are trying to keep that head pretty still so that we can keep things going. As we move to that right hand screen, we're able to see that kick really pretty good. You're getting a good spot with those feet coming out. Your knees are just a little bit wider than what I would like to see, but I think it is one of those kicks that it does work for you. As we see you go through the turn, you are driving those knees up a little bit. I'd like to see you really drive those knees up to your chest so then you can actually get a much quicker turn. You're going to end up spinning yourself backwards, but then thinking about pulling back on that bow and arrow with that left hand arm. As we get things going a little bit more, again still having kind of that down angle. We want to make sure that we are getting a little bit of that horizontal, if not just a little bit more towards the up position. That way we can come up to the surface at a pretty good line. You are getting a pretty good press on the water. I would like to maybe see you press out just a little bit wider so then your hands are outside of those shoulders so we can kind of keep that stroke going a little bit better. As you see going through here, getting a really pretty good press on that chest, so we got to keep that going the whole entire time. As we see you go in for the finish here, doing a pretty good job of getting that timing down so that your last stroke is full power. Nice job, Mikayla.